Welcome back, everyone. A reminder to you, Ireland Contracting will be at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center for Pittsburgh Home and Garden Show for the next 10 days, actually 7 more days. It's already been 3, but you can stop by and see why you should call the experts at Ireland Contracting for your roofing, siding, gutter, or window project, anything that you may have. Check them out at the Home and Garden Show. We have a lot of tweets in. AWDog53 says, I like Bell, but his head has gotten too big. It'll be interesting to see if the Rooneys cave. I don't think they will. And we have this one, too, from Ergoeg. I think I said that right. The Steelers aren't run by Dan Snyder or Jerry Jones, who would gladly overpay just to be a mediocre team. Let's go back to Penguin Talk with Stan in McKees Rocks. What's up, Stan? How are you?
Good evening, gentlemen. How you doing this evening?
Good. How are you?
Oh, great. How about those Pens? 2 overtime victories, 4 big points. But what I'd like to know is, what's the status of Matt Murray? You know, I mean,
I'll tell you what, Jari played well after falling down in the last game, and he also played well tonight. And I think they're going to need somebody to do that because, you know, Matt Murray's had his history. You never know if he's going to get through the entire postseason. If it goes 4 rounds, it's always good to have depth, and they don't have Murray Fleury anymore, obviously. So I think he's taken, you know, he's back at practice. He's not taking many shots that I know of, Paul. So I would expect they're going to not rush him. There's no reason to rush him at this point.
They're going to make the playoffs, so why rush him? And I think the other part of it is the benefit is what you just talked about. They're able to groom one of these other 2 guys, get them both enough experience so that if Murray does get hurt, you know, down in the playoffs or right before the playoffs, they at least have a couple of goaltenders who have seen a lot of, you know, action this year.
You remember Tristan Jarry was also the guy when they drafted him. They thought he was going to be the franchise goalie, and Matt Murray kind of escalated his game to the point where he went and took the opportunity and ran with it to the tune of 2 Stanley Cup championships in the first 2 years.
What would happen if Murray got hurt again, like right before the playoffs? Jarry goes in and then wins the Stanley Cup.
Well, I mean,
then what?
Then you have the same situation as you did before, only younger. Interesting. Let's go to line 5. Karen and Jeanette. Hey, Karen, how are you?
I was doing fine, trying to watch The Bachelor, and then when I heard about Le'Veon Bell, I was flipping out about The Bachelor and him. I mean, I'm 66 years old. I've been a sports fan all my life. My dad, my cousin played for the Pirates. My dad played baseball. My little daughter got a hockey stick from the Penguins.
Okay.
I'm just ticked off at the fact that he's so greedy. To me,
it's a negotiation, and he has a right to do what he has. But I agree.
I understand all that, but in my opinion, because I'm 66 years old, living on nothing, and I watch these football players, and my cousin played for the Pirates. He's now the bench coach manager for the San Francisco Giants. I know how negotiations work and all this stuff from over the years with a sports family.
Okay, I got to move along, but I get your point.
Okay,
you're frustrated.
Okay, no problem. You get my point.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Bye.
All right, bye, Karen. And yeah, I think that's a perspective that comes from most working people who just can't understand it. And listen, I think all athletes should get whatever they are in a unique position. They got talents that should be rewarded, and they are. But in this case, the CBA dictates what they have, and it's a franchise tag. And you have a chance to continue to negotiate, but it's a negotiation. And if the Steelers do not want to command or get down to your level of play, whatever that may be, and you want 17 million, 16 or 15, you're not going to get it. So
yeah, I don't
at some point you either take it or...
I don't begrudge these guys getting paid.
I don't either.
And I think, you should go get paid, but there's got to be a level of, where you're not completely delusional, and I think he's delusional here.
Line 4 we go. It's John in Johnstown. Hello, John.
Brother Bob, how you doing?
What's up, John?
Well, first of all, he's not worth that kind of money. I'm 66 years old, brother. I've been following the Steelers all my life and the Pirates and the Pens. He's not worth it. Mean Joe Green never got that money.
Well, that's a different era.
Man,
and
brother.
Listen, he's worth whatever he can get. And if the Steelers determine they've offered him already on average of $13 million a year, that's way above what other running backs are getting, including Devontae Freeman, who has the richest contract of anyone under contract at $8 million plus, Paul. So I don't. Your point, my point. We continue to say the same thing. Let's go out to Jim in Carmichael's. Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller.
Thank you.
Okay, and I don't think Bell is worth the money. He has to remember he has a tremendous offensive line he's running behind. I don't think he could get this yardage with any other team. Plus,
yes, he could.
To me, he's the worst third-down running back in football. He can't get you at 1 yard.
I don't agree with that. I think he's the best at what he does right now, and the numbers back that up. I don't know.
Statistically, well, I don't know. I mean, there are some things he's not the best at. Statistically, he's got 39% of his runs are for 0 yards or negative. That's a pretty high percentage. That means
I bet you could put that with a lot of running backs.
Well, but again, here's the thing: put him with the Jets.
Well, put Devontae Freeman with the Jets.
Put him with the Jets or whatever. I mean, is he still putting up all these yards that he is? My point is, he benefits greatly from his offense. If he wants to really do the right thing would be to settle this, because he's in a great situation.
I agree with you, and I think he has every opportunity to do that. And the number is very fair on the part of the Steelers. It's probably much bigger.
More than I would go.
Right, and
I wouldn't give him more. I wouldn't give him a dime more than 12.
I'd say this is your offer, take it or leave it, and let's see if you're serious about retirement. Because if that's the case, then go ahead. But I have a feeling, that he would regret that decision. So we're going to take a break. Come back with more right here on Pittsburgh CW. Don't go away.